Today's tech news moves fast, but understanding it shouldn't be hard. That's why Snarful Solutions Group brings you Connecting the Dots, where we break down what's happening in tech and why it matters to you. Now, let's dive in with your hosts.
All right, so it's Wednesday, April 9th, 2025, and let's jump right in, see what's going on out there in the world.
Sounds good to me.
First off, folks, if you happen to be in the lower Mississippi or Ohio valleys, heads up that moderate to major river flooding, still going strong. Forecasts say it's probably going to stick around late into the week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not good. And for anyone in areas that just got slammed by those multi-day storms, bundle up this morning. Temperatures are going to be near or even below freezing. Brr.
You definitely want to be careful with that.
No kidding. And lastly, out in parts of the plains, we got a combo of dry conditions and gusty winds, which means, unfortunately, we're looking at a pretty critical fire weather situation.
Yikes. Stay safe out there, everyone.
Absolutely. Okay, let's do a quick market check before we really get rolling. The Dow Jones closed yesterday at 37645.59, down by 0.84%. And the S&P 500 also took a bit of a dip, closing at 4982.77, a drop of 1.57%.
Interesting. You know, it always strikes me how these different bits of information, like weather, markets, they can sometimes be these subtle signals of bigger changes, you know?
Oh, for sure. Like, think about it. Big floods in those agricultural areas, that's going to ripple through supply chains, right?
Yeah.
And then that can totally mess with market sentiments. Like, everything's kind of connected, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. Everything's connected. And speaking of making connections and seeing the bigger picture, that's exactly what we try to do here on Connecting the Dots, a Snarful Solutions Group production.
Yep, that's us.
We're all about taking that crazy fire hose of tech news and figuring out what actually matters, you know? Like how it might actually affect you, your life, your work, all that.
Right, cut through the noise. So today, we've got a jam-packed show, 3 big stories to unpack.
Oh, I'm excited.
Me too. First up, we got to talk about Razer. They're actually pausing their U.S. laptop sales, which is a pretty wild move.
Yeah, definitely unexpected.
Then, we're diving into Google's latest AI features. They're rolling out some really cool stuff for their Workspace suite, you know, like docs, sheets, all that.
Oh, can't wait to hear about that.
It's some pretty next-level stuff. And last but not least, we're going to dig into Google Cloud's brand new unified security platform.
Sounds intriguing.
Yeah, lots to talk about. So should we just jump right into this Razer thing?
Yeah, let's get into it. The timing is just so weird, you know? Like right after those new tariff announcements, they pulled back on sales.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder.
Yeah, for sure. So here's the deal. Razer's basically hit the brakes on direct sales and pre-orders for all their new laptops in the U.S.
Wow.
We're talking about the big ones, like the Blade 16 that everyone's been waiting for. And if you head over to their website right now, you'll notice something interesting. Like before, you could customize and pre-order these laptops, no problem. Now there's just this little notify me button. Yeah, and it gets even weirder. The product page for the Razer Blade 16, straight up 404 error, page not found. It's not just laptops either. Even their new adjustable laptop stand, which they just announced, same thing. Notify me button, even though they were saying it was available. The only things you can still buy direct are things like laptop skins and the older Blade 14 model with the RTX 4060.
That is so strange. So specific, too.
I know, right? And the timing is just too perfect to ignore. This all happened, like, immediately after they announced those new U.S. tariffs. Doesn't seem like a coincidence to me. And from what we've gathered, those configuration and pre-order options were still there on April 1st. Then boom, gone.
Yeah, that's pretty suspicious.
Totally. And to make it even more intriguing, The Verge tried to get a statement from Razer, you know, like, what's going on? And their response was simply, no comment.
Classic.
Right. So to understand what's going on here, we need to look at Razer's whole global operation.
Yeah.
So they're an American, Singaporean company, but they make most of their products in China, Taiwan, and other places in Asia.
Right, right.
And as Video Gamer pointed out, those regions are getting hit hard with these new tariff rates. We're talking 54% for goods from China, 32% from Taiwan.
Oof, that's hefty.
Yeah. So if you think about it, those tariffs could make it way more expensive for them to import stuff into the U.S. And for a company like Razer making these high-end laptops, that could really eat into their profits. Or they'd have to jack up prices for us, the consumers.
Right. And neither of those options is ideal.
Exactly. So it seems like they're taking a step back, figuring out their next move. And the interesting thing is, all these Razer products that are suddenly unavailable in the U.S., they're still up for grabs in other countries.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like in Canada, you can still configure that Blade 16, no problem. And the laptop stand, listed at 99.99 Canadian. So it really shows how these US tariffs are specifically impacting things.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not just Razer either. These new tariffs, they're causing a lot of ripples. I mean, there have been protests, and other tech companies are feeling the heat too.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Well, Nintendo, for example. They're reportedly holding back on pre-orders for their new Switch 2 console, which, everyone's super hyped about. And Framework, they make those modular repairable laptops. They've actually paused some US sales and even canceled pre-orders for their laptop 12. They straight up said those tariffs would make their cheapest laptop unprofitable.
wow, that's crazy. So what does this all mean for folks who were maybe thinking about getting a new Razer laptop?
Well, the big thing is uncertainty. We don't know when these new Blade laptops will be back in stock in the US. And even when they do come back, will they be way more expensive? It's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that even though these global economic policies might seem like they're happening in some far-off world, they can directly affect what you can buy and how much it's going to cost you. Like, this is a real-life example of how connected everything is, that global tech supply chain, and how easily things can get disrupted. Absolutely. It's all connected, those dots, the economy, everything. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk Google. They're making some big moves in their Workspace suite, and it's all powered by AI, which is super exciting.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They just had their big Cloud Next event. They made a huge deal about these new AI features they're adding to, like all the Workspace apps,
Yeah.
docs, sheets, all of that. And the whole point is to help people be more productive, get more done, and automate all those annoying tasks we all have to deal with.
Right, make life easier. And they're coming out with some pretty awesome stuff. One of the things that really caught my eye is this thing called Workspace Flows. It's still in alpha testing, but it sounds incredibly cool. Basically, you just describe a workflow you want to automate across like different workspace apps, and Google builds you an AI agent to do it for you.
An AI agent. That sounds pretty futuristic.
Yeah, it's like, imagine you need to, I don't know, automatically route a finished document to a specific team for approval. You just tell Google what you want to happen, and their AI agent takes care of the whole process. It could be a massive time saver and make things so much smoother.
Oh, for sure. And it's not just about getting help from AI in a single app anymore. It's like
Yeah.
they're building these digital agents that can work across different apps, which is pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Right, like the possibilities are endless. And then there's Help Me Analyze in Google Sheets, which is going to be a game changer for anyone who deals with spreadsheets. This thing uses AI to analyze all your data and give you insights without you having to mess around with complicated formulas or pivot tables or anything like that. They're even saying it's like having a personal data analyst right there with you.
Wow. So basically, you don't have to be a spreadsheet wizard to understand what your data is telling you.
Exactly. It's like democratizing data analysis, you know? Anyone can get in on the action. And for those of us who are constantly wading through long documents, Google's got us covered too. They're rolling out audio overviews in docs. It's kind of like their Notebook LM product. You can basically generate a podcast-style audio summary of any document. Perfect for listening to on your commute or whenever you just can't stare at a screen anymore.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right. And it just makes sense. Not everyone learns best by reading. Sometimes listening is way better. So this just gives people more options, you know? And it might actually help people remember things better too.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about finding what works for you.
Exactly. Oh, and Docs is also getting this cool Help Me Refine feature, which uses AI to like make your arguments stronger. It's
Yeah.
basically an AI editor helping you sound more persuasive and make your writing more impactful.
Wow, so AI is helping us write better now, too.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And it's not about replacing human writers, obviously. It's more like giving them tools to make their writing even better.
Right, like a superpowered writing partner.
Exactly. Okay, one last AI-powered update for Workspace. This one's for all you meeting lovers out there. It's called the Gemini Assistant in Meet, and it's like having an always-on AI helper during your calls.
That sounds pretty useful.
Oh, it is. Like, say you have to step away from a meeting for a bit and miss some stuff. When you come back, you can just ask Gemini, what did I miss? And it'll fill you in.
Oh, that's genius. I can't tell you how many times I've had to do that awkward, can someone catch me up?
Thing. I know, right? This could be a lifesaver. So, long story short, all these new Google Workspace features are all about helping you get more done, more efficiently, and maybe even have a little fun along the way. And they're supposed to start rolling out before the end of the year, so keep an eye out for them.
Definitely. It seems like AI is becoming more and more integrated into everything we do. It's exciting to see how these tools evolve and how they change the way we work, both individually and as teams.
For sure. It's a brave new world out there. Okay, so let's wrap things up with our last big story of the day. It's all about online security, which is obviously super important. We're talking about Google Cloud's brand new unified security platform.
Right. So with all the cyber threats out there, getting more sophisticated all the time, Google Cloud decided to step up their game. They announced this unified security platform at their Cloud Next event. And the basic idea is to bring all of Google's security stuff together in one place.
Okay, so unified. What does that actually mean? Like, what are they bringing together?
Well, it's pretty much everything. We're talking their security operations tools, their cloud security services, all their threat intelligence data, secure browsing with Chrome Enterprise, and even the expertise of their cybersecurity company, Mandiant. And all of this is built on this massive scalable data fabric, which is basically like a super organized database that can analyze tons of information. And of course, it's all powered by their Gemini AI.
Wow, so it's like their whole security arsenal all in one place with AI making it even smarter. That's pretty impressive. So what are the big benefits of doing this? Like, why go unified?
Well, the main goal is to give businesses a much better view of their overall security situation. Like, it gives them visibility across all their networks, their cloud stuff, their applications, everything. The idea is to be more proactive, spot threats before they become big problems and stop hackers before they can even get in.
Right, get ahead of the bad guys.
Exactly. And by combining data from things like Chrome Enterprise and Google Threat Intelligence, they can also improve their threat detection, respond to attacks faster, and even test their security systems against known hacker tactics.
Sounds like they're really taking security seriously, and we heard they're even rolling out some new AI-powered agents as part of this platform. Can you tell us more about those?
Yeah, definitely. There are two big ones. The first is called the Alert Triage Agent, and it lives within Google Security Operations. Basically, it automatically investigates security alerts, figures out what's going on, and then decides if the alert is actually a big deal or not. It even provides evidence to back up its decision.
So it's like an AI detective.
Exactly. And the idea is to take some of the workload off of human security analysts because they're constantly bombarded with alerts. This agent can help them focus on the really important stuff.
Right, prioritize. That makes sense. So what's the other AI agent?
That one's called the Malware Analysis Agent, and it's part of Google Threat Intelligence. It analyzes suspicious software code and tries to figure out if it's actually malware. It can even do things like deobfuscation, which is where hackers try to hide what their code is actually doing.
Yeah.
The AI helps to unravel it all.
Oh, wow. So they're using AI to automatically investigate and analyze potential threats. That's pretty cool. And I know there are a bunch of other security improvements coming with this unified security platform, too.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. They've got new tools for managing data security posture, which is all about making sure sensitive data is protected. They've also added a compliance manager to their security command center so companies can see how well they're meeting all the security regulations. And they've even beefed up security in Chrome Enterprise with better phishing protection.
So they're covering all their bases. It sounds like Google's really committed to making the online world a safer place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even though this platform is mainly for businesses, it ultimately benefits everyone. Stronger security in the cloud means our data is safer, the services we use are more secure, and we're all better protected from online scams and hackers.
That's a good point. We all benefit from a more secure internet.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's do a quick recap of all the tech news we covered today. We started with Razer's decision to pause U.S. laptop sales because of those new tariffs.
Right.
Then we talked about all the awesome new AI features Google's adding to their Workspace suite.
Lots of exciting stuff there.
And we finished up with Google Cloud's big security announcement, their new unified security platform with all those AI-powered agents and everything.
It's clear that whether we're talking about global trade, productivity software, or cybersecurity, all these developments have a real impact on both businesses and everyday people like us.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive for today. We hope you found it informative and maybe even a little bit entertaining. As always, remember that we are here to help here at Snarful. So if you have any questions, head over to our website and reach out. We'd love to hear from you.
And as you go about your day, think about how these things we talked about today, global trade, AI, cybersecurity, how they all connect and how they might affect your life, both now and in the future. It's a fascinating and complex world out there, and we're all in this together.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
See you next time.
That's that's a wrap on today's top stories. Remember, tech doesn't have to be complicated, and we're here to help connect the dots. If you've got questions or want to learn more, visit us at snarful.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.